Hi everyone, and welcome to today's short class involving pigeon pose. So you might want a block or a cushion just to prop under your hip if you need it, and I will meet you on the mat. Hi everyone, so we're going to get started today in a standing position at the top of our mats. So if you want to come to the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart, ground down through the four corners of your feet, lift your toes, spread them and place them back down so your feet are nice and spread, nice steady base. Head over pelvis, pelvis over feet. Roll your shoulders back, arms come down by your sides. Just find a nice steady balance at the top of your mat. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Just centering yourself on your mat today. Try and get your inhales and exhales nice and even. Maybe with a little bit of ujjayi breathing, slight constriction at the back of the throat. Breathing in and out of the nose. And we're going to take a slight bend in the knee just so that we're not locking our knees out. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Slight bend in the knees if you need to, into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Your back becomes parallel with the floor. Open the chest. Hands can come up the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe a slight bend in the knees again here if you need to. Fingertips to the mat, right leg steps back, lower the right knee. So you're coming into a low lunge. Maybe you might want to wiggle your left foot forward a little bit, just that your knee is over your ankle. Hug in the midline. So imagine you're hugging your thighs together. You should find that that starts firing up your core muscles, and maybe you can lift up. Try not to overarch your lower back here. You can still sink into the hips so that you can feel a nice stretch on your right thigh, but try not to overarch. So try and pull the core muscles in. Nice steady breathing. Inhale the arms up above your head. Exhale, lean over to the right. Your fingertips can come to the floor or to a block. Inhale your arms back up. Exhale over to the left side. Just so you feel a nice stretch down the side of your body here. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale your fingers back down to the mat. Take the left knee back to meet the right. Hover over your hands. Lower your chest, so you're keeping your bum up in the air. Lower your chest and your chin, and then come through into your cobra. So ground down through your toes, ground down through your pelvis, pull your elbows in. Push back up onto your knees, tuck your toes, and come into your downward facing dog. Maybe bicycling out the legs here, so bending one knee, straightening it out, and then bending the other. So the knee that's bent, you're coming up onto the toes of that foot. Pulling your chest back towards your thighs and lifting your bum up to the sky. And then feet together at the back of the mat. Raise the right leg up high, keeping your toes pointing down towards the mat so you're not opening your hips up. Bend the right knee, look in between your hands, fingertips of the right hand, and then try to get your right foot up in between your hands here. You can walk it up, you can shuffle it up, and then lower your left knee. So now you're in a low lunge on the other side. Again, just wiggle that front foot around so your knee is over your ankle. Hug the midline, hug the thighs together, feel that balance, and then raise up. Lean into the hips without overarching your back, just so until you feel a sensation in this left thigh. And then you can inhale, hands up. Exhale, stretch over to the left side. Fingertips can come to the floor or to a block. So you feel a nice stretch down the right side of the body. Inhale your hands back up. Exhale over to the right. Don't worry if you have a few wobbles here as well. You can probably see I'm wobbling a little bit. Wobbles are fine. Just try to hug in that core, create a bit more balance. And then exhale your fingers to frame your right foot. Come onto the toes of your left foot. Lift your knee up and just take a few rocks. And then we're going to jump the left foot up to meet the right in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knee, sweep the arms all the way up over your head. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, maybe a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, open that chest, look forward slightly. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips come down to the mat. Left foot steps back this time, lower the left knee, low lunge. If you feel you're balanced, you can raise up, maybe the arms up overhead. On your next exhale, we're going to twist towards the right side. So as you turn your torso to the right, your arms are going to come out to the side. Hold here. So you're just looking over your right thigh. Inhale your hands up. Fingertips to the mat. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Hover over your hands, lower your chest, come through into your cobra. So ground down through your toes, and maybe this time you might want to lift into a bit of a higher cobra. Keep pulling them elbows in. Exhale, lower down, come up onto your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Feet together at the back of the mat. Left leg raises high, toes keep pointing down towards the mat. Bend the left knee, look in between your hands, come to the fingertips of your left hand, bring your left knee up in between your hands. Remember to shuffle it there if you need to. Lower the right knee. Find that balance in your low lunge. Come up slightly, hands on hips. Lean into the hips. When you feel balanced, raise the arms. On your next exhale, twist over to the left side. So you're turning from your torso, and then your arms are coming out to the sides. Focus on your breathing, focus on your balance. Inhale your hands back up. Exhale them down to the mat. Tuck your toes of your right foot, and this time step your left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Maybe bicycling out the legs again if you need to. Feet together at the back of the mat. Right leg raises high. Bend the right knee. Look forward in between your hands. Place your right knee behind your right hand, and your right foot is going to come in line with your left hand. And then you can untuck your left toes and just sink lower down into your hips here. So you're coming into your pigeon pose. So if you're really, really flexible, you might be able to get your foot closer to your left hand. But just try to keep your hips even. So look behind you, make sure that your left leg is straight. If you feel like you're rolling over onto one side, just grab a block or a cushion and prop it up underneath your hips, just so you're not rolling over. If you're getting any knee pain at any point, then come out of it. Come back into downward facing dog or child's pose. Or your low lunge if you still want to work on the hips. Lengthen through your spine. If you feel okay here, maybe you want to take it a little bit lower and come onto your elbows. Try to keep your breaths nice and even. So a nice inhale and exhale. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears, spine nice and long. And try to relax a little bit into them hips. So this is a really, really good pose to practice your splits or for flexibility. And then if you're down on your elbows, come back up onto your hands, tuck your left toes, push up off of your right leg, and then take your right leg back into downward facing dog. Maybe bicycle up the legs a little bit here. And then bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Left leg raises high, bend the left knee, and again, pigeon on the other side. So bring your left knee behind your left hand, and your left foot is going to come in line with your right hand. Untuck your right toes, look behind you, check that your leg is in line. Check your hips are even. Maybe you want to put a prop underneath your bum to stop you rolling. Lengthen through the spine. Make sure it's comfortable, but that you can still feel a sensation somewhere. So for me, everybody's going to be different, but for me, I'm feeling a really nice stretch down my left outer thigh here, left hamstring. If you feel comfortable, you can come down onto your elbows. Lengthen through the spine. Focus in on them breaths. So as you're focusing on your breath, you're telling your body to relax where you are. You're giving your body permission to relax, which is really, really good for helping your flexibility. If you're struggling with your breath, then maybe you've gone too far and you might want to come up onto your hands or come out of it into a lunge. Nice even inhales and exhales. If you get any cramping or pins and needles, it's good to come out as well. Really don't push it in this pose, because the last thing you want to do is cause yourself any pain or any injuries, especially in your knees. When you're ready, if you were down onto your elbows, you can come back up onto your hands, tuck your toes of your right foot, lift up, bring the left foot back, maybe paddle out the legs again. And then just try to find a little bit of stillness in your downward facing dog. And it doesn't matter if your ankles are not reaching, your heels are not reaching the floor. Okay, you can have a nice bend in your knees, push your chest back towards your thighs and lift your bum up to the sky so that you've got a nice long spine here. Again, find them even breaths. And then lowering your knees to the mat, knees as wide as the mat, toes together. Let's sit back into our child's pose. So your bum comes down to your heels, lengthening your arms out in front, head rests on the mat. Relax the whole body. Just try and find some stillness, no tension. Let your body relax. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands up, swing your legs out in front of you, come to an easy cross-legged position. And sweep the arms up overhead, hands come together. Exhale, hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I am just absolutely blown away by the support that I've got on this channel, and every subscribe and comment and like, it just means so much to me. So thank you guys, and I will see you all next week. Namaste.